So what happens when you've got multiple products? You're a product owner and you've got multiple products to work with. I mean, do you manage them all at the same time? Do you have many product backlogs? Let's talk about some pros and cons and some maybe strategies for dealing with such a situation.
Yeah, this is a situation that I've either found myself in or I found my clients in the past. And the first question, at the risk of asking too broad of a question, I think it's worth stopping and zooming out and asking, how are we defining the products here? Because I've seen product owners running around trying to manage, 3, 4, 7, 12 products, simultaneously. And when I dig into it, it's like, well, I'm the product owner for the front end of this product. I'm the product owner for the database of that product. I'm a product owner for this portion of this product. And it's like, well, wait a minute. It sounds like you're managing a component, but who's owning the overall product? And so, it's very easy to form teams around a component, around a common technology, around a piece of the puzzle, because all the people on those teams speak the same language and they can just get productive very quickly. But we suboptimize for that portion of the real product. And so I think one way to reduce this like time slicing to death and like doing too much at once is really zooming out and saying, wait a minute, this isn't a product and this isn't a product. We need ownership over this whole product. And then from there, we can talk about, okay, how do we manage multiple once we actually figure out what those products are?
So I want to think through some advantages of actually attacking multiple products at once, because I don't think it's always a bad thing, but I think there's a time and a place. So if you're managing multiple products, there are obvious disadvantages. You can't focus on one thing for 100% of the time. So I think we just have to call that out. There's a giant risk. But if you want to upskill really quickly, manage multiple things. You're going to get a diverse perspective. You're going to be able to learn from one perspective and inject it immediately into the next thing that you're dealing with in situation. And I'm not advising a dozen products at a time by any means, but if you are dealing with a couple, perhaps one might be more of a legacy type of product that's fairly stable. You can gain some inspiration from that and inject that into something that's a little bit more, I'd say, on a faster pace in terms of development. There might be a balance there in which you could actually be a better product manager because you manage multiple. And I say product manager because ultimately product owner, that's what you are. You're a product manager who owns the product and uses Scrum.
So a lack of organizational focus can be a real challenge. You see that in terms of organizations that are developing all the products that they want to develop all at the same time with the same set of people. If you go back to, say, when Apple developed both the Apple II and the Macs, there was a bit of split in that company because you've got this group of people building a new computer that was going to pave the way for the future, but a group of people still building an existing platform that was selling very well. And so with that split focus, there's lots of stories there. I heard they actually made the teams compete against each other.
Right.
But let's get away from that. They didn't hire a second set of engineers only for this development. I mean, they split their group. You see the same thing with Ford. I mean, they moved from being a purely an organization that develops internal combustion engines to one that also has an electric car division, and they split the company up around these two product areas to give them focus. They had different business models, different production, different resourcing. And so if you can't split up your team to create that additional focus, what things do you stop doing now? What things can we put on pause to give us more organizational focus to accomplish those very, very large goals a little bit sooner? We know what happens if we don't. We're split. We're working on many things at once and nothing gets finished. So to me, I wouldn't say it's obvious that more organizational focus is the answer, but it's just the answer most people don't think is possible.